You know, we got to talk about it, Boulder. The way that things are going for the Buffs, they're once again proving to the nation that they're going to be one of the elites long term. But this season could be one that surprises a lot. Right now, as we're going through our room review, the offensive line is among the nation's top lines. And a stat that, I'm not going to lie, shocked me, probably will shock you too. So we're going to dive into that here on the Prime Time for College Football. Thank y'all for pulling up. I'm your boy Jay. The Buffs are preparing themselves for the new era of Colorado civilization as Coach Prime coming in, added some new staff members, but then you have the fact that Shadur isn't there, you ain't got Travis, you got some changes on the lines. So there's a lot of moving pieces, but the offensive line is one that year over year has gotten better and better, and the expectation is this could possibly be the best one yet. So let's take a look at it. We're going to break down the offensive line and dive into all of that. And so first and foremost, when you look at the offensive line here, you see there's a lot of big boys on here. A lot of big players. And that's actually what you want. You want some size. You want some girth. And what Colorado has, which helps them to be one of the elite teams in the country, is the average size on the line is roughly about 329 pounds. That is ranked roughly about third in the country right now. Colorado trails the Texas State Bobcats, who's about 341. Texas A&M's at 330. You got Phil Loadholt, who's the former coach here of Mississippi State. He's right behind Colorado at 325. But the Buffs are roughly close to that 330 range. Now, with some of these sizes, these are old numbers from the early parts of the summer. We're now here in the fall. So when we get an updated look on the roster and depth chart, we'll have these new numbers. But this is the one thing that's important for Colorado, is having a big line, one that's imposing, that can push people around. I think it was either Brian Howland or Adam Mustatiger on the beat for Colorado, and they mentioned how this is the biggest that they've ever seen in covering the team. And I know they've been around for years. So to hear them say that, oh yeah, the Buffs offensive line is big, that's massive. And so for me, what I look at on top of the size of the line, I'm looking at the experience that this line has. Now, Coach Prime has brought in a good amount of transfers. As you all know, every time we look at the numbers here for the Buffs, we look at who's transferred in, all of that jazz. And on the transfer side for this line, you bring in 8 new offensive linemen to help out. Some with age, some young. So it's not a bad thing, but the snap counts are absurd. So I did the mathematics on it. 11,000 career snaps are now on this roster, leading off with Xavier Hill, transfer in. He gets you at 2,000 career snaps with over 960 last year, 961 to be exact. That's a lot of snaps. That's a lot of play. That's a lot of opportunity for the Buffs. Experience is key. I mean, you still got Jordan Seaton, who's going to be anchoring on the left side. He has 860 as a true freshman. So he played the whole season. Looked good. He got better and better, and he's considered an All-American because of that. So Colorado, of course, struck gold and hit a home run with that landing. And you want to add, of course, to the line. Losing Cash, Cleveland was, to me, kind of brutal, kind of hurt. But at the same time, you still brought in some additional players that can get you some good snaps. But yes, as you can see here, thousands upon thousands of snaps that Colorado has brought in. I mean, you got 4 dudes with over 1,500 snaps on their career, which is good. And a lot of guys that played last season. And to me, that's going to probably be the biggest area that Colorado needs to really focus on and leverage, because as we all know, the Buffs line has improved year over year, but it hasn't been the best. Now, this is an opportunity for that line to be really good, like really good. It has all of the capabilities written right in front of them. And so, of course, we expect this line to be better, which means that Caden Salter or Juju Lewis, whoever starts, will have themselves some time to get to these great wide receivers. We'll dive into them coming up next. And then the running back room can actually hit those holes and go. We'll talk about them a little bit later this week because they're going to be a critical component for the Buffs to be successful as well. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. How you feeling about the line? How you feeling about who do you think is going to be the starters in the depth chart? I definitely want to hear your thoughts because there's a lot of talk and takes around the depth chart. Like I've seen a few different things come up about where people think the Buffs line depth chart is going to look, but I put it this way: it's going to be fun to see that there's a battle, that there's actually there's a battle there. There's actual competition, something that Colorado has desperately needed for this team, to get better in time. And so when we go through all, like I said, the snaps here, 3 grads. Seaton's up there as a sophomore. He's up there with a lot of the players. And as far as playing, but you still got a bunch of players that the rotations are going to be good. And there's a lot of good competitive depth, which is most important. So if the Buffs continue to hit on these, it's an opportunity that this team could go pretty far in the Big 12, a lot farther than people probably would say they would. I've been playing around with some of the configurations. I'm wondering who wins that center spot, who close. I have a lot of questions, but the reports are showing that there's a lot of rotations, a lot of players getting an opportunity to play. So we'll have a final depth chart, of course, early next week as we prepare for the Georgia Tech game. It sounds like Georgia Tech, their coach ain't been very happy with their play. And so he kind of ripped his boys up a little bit. And so that kind of makes me feel like Colorado has a really good chance of winning that one. The Buffs, what's coming out of reports about the Buffs here in fall camp and getting ready into game prep is to me night and day compared to what we're hearing about at Georgia Tech. Coach Key's got a lot of work to do to prepare. So hit that like, subscribe, bell notification so you don't miss any videos. We'll dive into that early next week, especially we'll have the podcast episode drop next week as we prepare for the Georgia Tech game. And we've got a lot of stuff brewing for you all. Want to keep you guys abreast with what's going on. If we're looking at that lineup, between Azarian McGill as well as Yaya Atia, he could be one at there at that center spot. I don't know if we're going to see anything from Carday early. I'm not sure. There's a lot of snaps that Colorado has. So I think the thing that helps the Buffs the most is that there's a ton of snaps on the offensive line that's going to allow for them to play a good amount of people. But I want to see if Larry Johnson can take a spot. The transfer from Tennessee, he played a good amount of snaps there. He had some good snaps last year. He thought that he was going to get opportunity to start over there, but David Sanders came in the 5-star. He's really good. Him and Jordan Seaton, probably 2 of the best 5-star linemen I've seen in the last few years. So it's tough to take that, but I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of players fighting for starting spots. But keep your eyes open. Like I said, we'll go through all of that. Next up, wide receivers. We'll do running backs and tight ends together, and then we'll close it all with the quarterback. So we'll chop it up with each and every single one of y'all. Later.